Today we're taking on two bosses, fastest wind and quickest fire. And just like in the name, those are two of the elemental types that you're gonna need to look out for. Now that head that's rolling around will do the fire damage. It'll roll around and spit out flames from its mouth. Now the one that's floating in the air with the 3 eyes on his forehead, that's the one that's gonna do the wind damage. From the start of the fight, ignore that one. Just focus on the one that's rolling around on the ground. You wanna do all of your attacks on the back of its head for obvious reasons. Now if that head starts to roll around a lot, create some distance. Make some space and wait for it to slow down. This is the time where you just want to heal if you need to. And watch out for the flames on the ground because you can easily lose some health if you're not paying attention. And speaking of paying attention, that floating head will try to get your attention, so just keep an eye on him when he does his wind attacks. His wind attacks are fairly slow and you can just run away from them. Eventually, that head that's rolling around all crazy will run into a wall or get stuck somewhere. And if it hasn't stopped moving yet, you can always cast Immobilize to freeze it yourself. Now when it's frozen, that's the time for you to get some attacks in. Also, follow up your attacks with Wandering White and any other big attacks that you can cast. And don't forget about Uppluck a Mini. Make sure that the head isn't moving before you cast it though. This boss can take a lot of punishment, so any buffs that you can use to raise your damage is a good idea. And if you're having trouble dodging these attacks, raise your fire resistance before the fight, because if you're not paying attention, you can get caught off guard pretty quickly. Now it is possible for the head to get knocked up and thrown into the air. If you're lucky, the head will fly into the other boss. If not, just chase after it and continue to do your damage. At some point, the other boss is going to make the mistake of flying down and landing on the ground. When he does, hit him with Immobilize and get on top of him as soon as possible. Now if you're really impatient and you really want to take care of that head that's in the air, just use Wind Tamer to knock him down. You can get him on the ground by casting the spell, and then just do your follow-up damage. Now he's not going to stay there for long, so it's a good idea to wait for Immobilize to charge up and then use both of those spells together. You can also use charged up heavy attacks to try to get in some quick hits when he's floating in the air. Now if the head that's floating in the air is giving you some serious problems, you may need to take him out first. The key here is to position your character near the corner or one of the walls of the map. You want to limit the amount of space that he has to fly around, and you want to raise the chances of him running into the wall when he does his attacks. This will bring him down low enough where you can get some attacks in, and eventually he will go down.